I just want to hit two other quick things with you. One, I have some ideas about this, but okay, we got to thread this needle. Bernie is doing really well. He won the first two states. He's growing in the polls, and the media is lying about it and trying to suppress that reality. On the other hand, he needs to win by bigger margins, and he needs to turn these vote participation rates up. So what can he do?
I honestly think that that's all going to come naturally, because if you think about it, right, what did we learn in Iowa and New Hampshire? First of all, we learned that 70% of the Democratic electorate supports Medicare for all. We know from poll after poll in every state I've ever seen that Bernie Sanders is the most trusted candidate on both healthcare and climate, which are the number one and number two issues respectively. His favorability ratings with Democrats are great. People like him. They like him on the issues. They trust him, right? Really important. They trust him that he's going to fight for what he says he's going to fight for and that he's telling them the truth. All of that is great. The only thing that has held him back, in my view, is the decades of propaganda saying that he's unelectable. And what I think is going to happen is, as he continues to win, it becomes much harder to make the case that the guy who is winning all the time is unelectable. Just like, this is the Barack Obama path in 2008, right? Of course, the media actually gave him credit for his wins, so it had a bigger instant impact. But you see it in the national polls. You see it in the Super Tuesday polls, where Bernie has a sizable lead over Joe Biden, who's in second. It was 27-20. So I think that is already happening. Don't lose sight of the fact that the demographics in these two very white states were very favorable to the more moderate establishment candidates.
The devil candidates.
Those ones. Yeah. Who, look, the white liberals, all they want is to win. That's all they care about. Just win. That's it. And so whoever the media tells them is going to win, that's who they're going to go with. And that's why they're jumping all around. Somebody has a good debate. Oh, let me go to them. Somebody's third. Let's go to them. And eventually, I do believe that as they see, oh, not only did he win, not only did he win again, oh, now we've gone to a diverse state and he has the most diverse coalition and he wins. Eventually, there is going to be a tipping point where people they feel the permission to vote for the guy that they already like, trust, and support on the issue. So I think that they're in a good spot. I really do. And I wouldn't sugarcoat it if I thought otherwise. I would say otherwise. I really think they just need to run the plan. They've got a much better ground game in place, especially in the Latino community, than any other campaign. And so Nevada will be a real test of how that turns, if that really delivers for them and they're able to turn out the vote that they've been wanting to in that state. Zed Jelani, who we have on our show a good bit and who I think is really, really smart, said that I saw him tweeting this, which is where all great wisdom is found, that, maybe the case is that Bernie doesn't need to turn out mass amounts of brand new voters because the voters that are already voting like him, and it's enough with that coalition now.
There was a similarly brilliant person on your show election night who immediately made this spin when a very eager Sagar and Jetty was just like, you're a Bernie guy. What about the increased voter participation? I was like, he's winning with the traditional voters, bro. Sounds good to me.
Maybe that's a good thing. But I also don't think that we fully know what that all looks like, or even how much turnout in the primary translates to turnout in the general election. These things are kind of tangential to me. But Nevada will be a test of if the diverse coalition that we see coming together, and that we had little inklings of strength in Iowa and New Hampshire, if that really comes out when there's more competition for it in Nevada, California, et cetera.
You just watched a Michael Brooks show video. Subscribe to get them all. Why wouldn't you? Don't be foolish. Click subscribe below and become a patron as well. Patreon.com/TMBS. Thanks, everybody.